A warm welcome to this TechEd session. See how developer extensibility changes the game for SAP S/4HANA extensions. Let me first introduce myself. My name is Georg Wilhelm, Chief Development Expert. Within the ABAP platform, I'm one of the team leads of the teams who develop extension technology. The goal of this session is that at the end of the session, you know how developer extensibility fits into the overall extensibility portfolio of S/4HANA Cloud. Now, let's have a look at the agenda. First, we start with looking at developer extensibility. Then we continue with a demo scenario, go ahead with a demo, and then we will summarize what we've learned during that demo. Let's first have a look where this talk is located within the Intelligent Enterprise. Within the Intelligent Suite, there is S/4HANA, and this talk is about S/4HANA extensibility. Now let's have a look at developer extensibility, also called embedded Steampunk. What we see right here is the extensibility portfolio we currently have in S/4HANA Cloud. On the left side, you see key user extensibility, our well-known low-code, no-code offering. And on the right side, you see side-by-side extensibility. Using the SAP Business Technology Platform, you can build your own applications with ABAP, with Java, with Node.js, by getting data via remote APIs from S4, or by writing data into S4 via remote APIs, or by replicating data. And now let's come to our new kid on the block, developer extensibility. And please note, this is a lab preview. It's currently not available, but it will be available soon in one of the upcoming releases. So what's different with developer extensibility? What we did, we basically took our ABAP environment in Business Technology Platform and integrated it right into the S/4HANA stack. And the consequence is that we do now have in S/4HANA Cloud a full-fledged development environment, ADT, where you can develop your own applications with the RAP programming model, really powerful applications using public interfaces. And as a consequence, you are 100% lifecycle stability, also with this third flavor of extensibility. Now let's go ahead with looking at the demo scenario. So what we see right here is an S/4HANA Cloud development system, and we have two clients now. The well-known client 100 for key user extensibility, and also client 80 for developer extensibility. Now let's have a look at the demo scenario. We would like to add a custom field, a product, to the customer project app in order to reference a product from this customer project. We call it a management by objectives product. And we would like to have a value help with this custom field that really shows products and their descriptions from the standard products. How do we create this value help? So first, we create a developer extensibility CDS view in client 80. We get the data by joining iProduct and iProduct description to release CDS views. And on top of this developer extensibility view, we create a key user custom CDS view, and we use this custom CDS view for typing the custom field. And now let's see how that looks live in the demo.
So we start our demo in exactly the runtime UI, where we would like to have our MBO product extension field. We would like to add it right here. And in order to start with the development, we switch into client 80. Here we are in client 100. Now we switch into client 80 within ADT. And we add our developer extensibility view into this package, TechEd demo package. And you see its super package is z_custom_development. That is the super package for all the packages in which I develop developer extensibility artifacts. Now let's create this developer extensibility view with, we say, core data service. Here we are, data definition. That's the right one. As a name, we take a simple product, we help. and also as a description, but in the description we say value. That's fine. We say next. And I guess as you don't want to watch me type, I just copy over the source code from my template. Here it is. Let me shortly explain this CDS view. So here you see the name. It's a view entity. That is the name. And you see it selects from the released standard view iProduct and associates from the released standard CDS view iProduct description. I need this association in order to get the product description field right here. And maybe one thing that's also interesting, as a language parameter for the association, I use the system language parameter so that I always have the correct language, the description field in the correct language. And let's have a look at the projection list, the fields offered there. I choose the product, I choose product description, and some more fields like product type and product category. We will have a look at them in the value app later on. Now I'm done with the CDS view. I activate it, but that's not sufficient in order to use it later on in our key user tools. In order to be able to use it in our key user tools, I have to release this view within the key user tools. And I do so by switching into the properties tab and there into the API tab. And now I have to say add release contract. There I say the system internal contract. And now I can say that I want to use this view in the key user apps. With this flag, I say next. Now I say activate, and I'm done. With that, I'm done. I'm now ready to use this CDS view in our key user tools. So that is the next step. We dive into the custom CDS view key user app. And by the way, we have to remember the name. I copy it over, the name of this view. And within the key user app custom CDS view, I say create a custom CDS view. Give it exactly the same name here, but without set. And I say value help. And standard CDS view is exactly the right scenario I'm looking for. And now as a first step, I have to select the data source from which I would like to select the data. And that is exactly the CDS view we created in ADT a couple of seconds ago. Here we are. And now we have to select the elements we're interested in. And the product key is already there, but we're also interested in some more elements, some more fields. So also in the product description, the product type, and the product category. These are the fields we're interested in. We say OK, and then we say publish. And as soon as the CDS view is published, it's currently publishing. You see it right here. Publishing is done. As soon as this is done, we can go ahead creating our field. And in order to create our field, we can switch into the so-called UI adaptation mode right here in this runtime UI, this customer projects UI. We say adapt UI. And within adapt UI, within the section where we would like to add the field, we can say add field. With this, a dialog pops up that shows us all fields that are currently available for this section in the so-called OData entity behind this UI section. That is that provides the data for it. But as we know, the field cannot be there because we haven't created it yet. We have to go one step further and say, please create the custom field. And with this, pressing the plus button, we switch over to the custom fields and logic app. And as soon as we are here, we can really create our custom field. And we start there also by pressing the plus button to create a custom field. It automatically pre-selects the business context engagement project out of the 600 business contexts that exist in the system. The system knows this business context because we came from this project UI. So we would like, as a label, we would like to have our MBA product. And now comes the interesting part, the type. When we now select the type, we select as a type a code list based on CDS view. And as soon as we've done that, we can select CDS view. And as the CDS view, as we have created only one of them, as CDS view, we would like to have the simple product value help view. And now we're done. We say create and publish. And with create and publish, the field is really generated in the backend with a respective field type, with a respective value help. And as soon as this is done, we can make the field visible in the customer projects UI. We now have to wait a couple of seconds till publishing is done. Now publishing is done. We switch back to our runtime UI, the customer projects runtime UI. We once again say add or want to say add field, but now the system recognizes that the metadata in the backend have changed. We have to reload the UI in order to get the new OData metadata that now contain the newly added field, our MBO product field. We now once again switch back into the so-called UI adaptation mode. We do so here by saying adapt UI. And now we once again can say add field. And we search for our MBO product field. Here it is. We say OK. And now we say save and exit. And immediately we can use the field. So when we now select the value help, we get a value help with the product description, the product category. We select this one. And here we see it automatically works. And that's it. So we added this field. We created, really developed a CDS view in ADT. It could be much more complex. Your imagination is the limit.
And now let's summarize what we've learned during this demo. So first of all, what we've seen is that developer extensibility and key user extensibility fits nicely together. We created a developer extensibility view. We consumed it from a key user CDS view, and then we used this for typing the custom field. And it works also the other way around. So within your developer extensibility artifacts, you can consume key user extension fields. Also, what you've seen is within developer extensibility, you have a rich, full-fledged development environment, ADT, where you can develop really large applications with the RAP programming model, the RESTful ABAP programming model. And when you do that, you have the chance to do that in the same logical unit of work, in the same commit as a standard stuff. And also you do not need data replications that you need or remote communications that you need when you work side by side. And maybe the most important aspect here is everything you do with developer extensibility is 100% lifecycle stable. I would now like to point you to further sessions, the further TechEd sessions. I would like to recommend these, and also I would like to recommend more learning opportunities we show right here. Yeah, so enjoy these sessions and the learning opportunities. And now I would like to thank you for your attention and have a nice TechEd. Bye.